This is Hell River Arena, a beautiful shooter game made by a talented developer, but it has no players at all. 0 of them. And there are many more amazing games on Roblox that should have more players, so today I will be showing you 16 more Roblox games that, for one reason or another, don't have as many players as they should have, and we'll find out why it happens to these amazing gems. From the games that have been abandoned by everyone, to the games that are going to have thousands of players soon. Because our first game, for example, is called One More Night, a FNAF game where you have to defend yourself against literally anything, from your classic characters like Freddy Fazbear to literally this. I have no idea what is happening. This game isn't comparable to some higher quality games in terms of visuals, but you have over 50 threats to hunt you down, and even penalties that will make your gameplay harder, so this is genuinely perfect if you want some challenge. However, this diversity is exactly what's holding this game back. It is based on FNAF, and as you know, FNAF blew up purely because of how simple, but actually deep it was under the hood. It only has about 200 players though, so you must check it out if you love horror, where you actually have to play the game. But if you want to relax a little, you can do it at Overfarmed, a really intricate farming simulator, which basically acts as a clone of Industrialist but adds farming to it. You have to grow various crops, sell them, and use your land to get you XP to get even more upgrades. A distinct feature of this game though is that you can also make your own factory, with generators and industrial machines to help you scale your business. Unlike other gardening games on Roblox, here you are unable to just press a button and teleport to a cellar. You have to walk to them, which is somehow too much for the Roblox audience. However, if you want something a little spookier, Cross Doors is just the game for you. This is a very nice looking crossover of doors and rooms and doors. Yeah, 2 different games by the way. Here you go through as many rooms as you can while avoiding the monsters on your path. They can appear anywhere at any time, and you have items to help you fight back against them, but your ultimate weapon is your hearing. You have to crank up your volume for this one, and trust me, it's a bad idea to do if you hate horror games. Even while Cross Doors looks this good, it has literally 0 players. I wish I could be lying. But the reason why it's so unpopular is probably because of its pacing. This game is really slow and actually requires you to just take it in. But my Discord server has a suggestions channel where you can suggest your games like this. I'm just saying. But if you need some action, Warrior at War is just for you. This is a very nicely styled simulator of World War I, except you have fantasy weapons and maps actually generate randomly, meaning every match will be different, and you'll have to adapt to changes all the time. Warrior at War is amazing when you want to just turn your brain off and have some fun with it, and it has just 100 players, which is criminally underrated. And it's also criminally underrated how you're not subscribed yet. But the reason why it has just 100 players is actually a very hidden issue in this game. Every shooter game makes it known that you gotta kill, and this makes the game much more satisfying. Here you don't really know if you dropped someone unless you see them directly, which makes this game far less satisfying to the general audience of Roblox. But I'm not gonna lie, this next game is an amazing gem you have to see. Balthazar is a fighting game that's created to imitate Combat Warriors, an extremely popular Roblox game, but it actually ended up being a far better version of it. Here it's a free-for-all where you have to kill other people and show off your skills, but optionally without dying. You have a ton of various weapons to choose from, which guarantees you won't get bored, and just as many ways to kill people. It has only 200 players, which is insane for this gem of a game. But why does it have 200 players? I have no idea. Seriously. Next up, we have Purgatory, a game where you go through waves of monsters and enemies who try to stop you, and all of the many different stages end with an epic boss fight. After you're done slaughtering your enemies, you get an upgrade to choose from, and there are literally dozens upon dozens of them, from simple movement speed upgrades to special skills you could use to fight even harder. As to why this game has only 200 players, I believe that Purgatory is a bit too slow in its gameplay. Numerous times have I found myself wishing, man, if only they made this game like faster or something. But Voidful is a completely different game, where you travel through a void full of various objects and your goal is to get to the end of it. To do that, however, you have a device to propel you forward, but you must be careful with how you use it. One mistimed jump or dash and your run for that section of the void is done for! And obviously, because Voidful is so fast-paced and has kind of a convoluted lore, it makes the game have far less players than it deserves, because it is at 20 players right now. Next, we have Door. Yes, that's the name of the game, and you'll have to go through a certain door that teleports you to random dimensions over and over. Discover all of the maps, and additionally, earn a ton of cool badges by completing mini-tasks in each dimension, like finding your way out or uncovering a secret area you were not meant to see. Each level is so different from one another that you'd probably get lost if you tried to count all of them. Some are references to popular memes, and some are original works made by the author. Or well, that's at least what I think. But Door has about 100 players on a stable basis, which is really good for a single player game, but almost every single player game on Roblox never reached more than 1,000 players on a stable basis, which is a shame because Door absolutely deserves more than that. Now, you should play this next game because it is one of the best zombie shooter games to play when you're bored, and its name is The Undead Coming Armageddon. Here the survivor team has to fight against many classes of zombies, and the reason why this game is so fun is because of its simplicity, while also having many features like various weapons to play around with, and of course, course, customization, so you don't look like this idiot right here. Unfortunately though, this game has only 30 players, and there is a very good reason why. Again, it is purely speed. There's not enough of it, but this game absolutely deserves more players if it was just a tad bit faster. And now I want to show you Project Rusher. It is not the most niche game as you can see by its visits, but it genuinely needs more than that. In here you play a rhythm game where every level has such unique twist to the rhythm game genre that I can't even describe it. Like, what the fuck is this? This game is relatively short, but to beat all of the levels at their hardest difficulties, yeah, I don't even have footage for that, so you know how bad it is. In this rhythm game, you can use any key to hit the note, but if that sounds too simple, no, it's not! I hate this game! Now we have Project Somnia, an exquisite dream adventure game where you have to go through 200 different dreams and try to find literally the meaning of life. No, I lied actually, because the game is far simpler than that, but still, the entire atmosphere of this game is so serene and calming at times, and then it just gives you an anxiety attack. So it's a perfect game to play at like 3 AM with some chill music in your headphones. And then there's this game called Route 06, where you have to go through a randomly generated map and fight hordes of zombies while also gathering loot to get money. The main feature of this game is its emphasis on teamwork. You will not survive without a teammate, because I crashed my car about 5 billion times and the only reason I could have any more footage was because of my teammates. There is not a lot of loot on the map, so you have to gather everything you can and sell it all to a merchant on a checkpoint, so you can buy that sweet precious fuel that goes down way too fast. And there was a cinema moment I had while playing this, with my squad of random friends dying, but I fought with them so hard they became like brothers to me. And then we got Cyberpunking, an amazing fighting game where you equip yourself with cybernetic enhancements and fight other people on a variety of maps and game modes. It's very simple, but the game gets you hooked on the adrenaline of every fight because it all looks smooth and actually plays nicely because all of the animations look so good. What doesn't look good, however, is the game's player count. It is at, holy shit, 20 players. Oh my god! I have no idea why this game doesn't have any players. Seriously. But Fuzzy is another hidden gem. Yes, let the believers rejoice, for I, viberbread, will cover Fuzzy right now! Here you have to defend a tower by sorting out who is your friend and who is your enemy. It's pretty obvious, but when you have a ton of NPCs coming at you, it is quite hard and it requires some attention. In fact, you can buy weapons to help you progress, because there will be tougher enemies down the line. But why does it only have 200 players? I can take an educated guess on multiple things, but mostly it comes down to the developer team being divided between working at the Battle Bricks and Fuzzy, because they work on both of those games. Hence why they can't properly focus on one game and update it, because the last update was in October. But now this is the game that has been requested billions of times, and its name is Absolvement. Absolvement is an RPG game with more mechanics than I have fingers, and even more dungeons to explore. You have to go through them while slashing your way through many monsters and obtain a ton of loot to level up and gain new abilities. And I think that's pretty obvious why Absolvement has only 400 players. Same as any RPG, this game is just far too complicated for the majority of the people. And now let's talk about a fresh new game that was made by the developers of Superstar Racers, the game that I previously reviewed, and its name is A Block's Journey. Here you explore numerous unique worlds and biomes and try to go through all of them while collecting power orbs. You do that by solving puzzles, going through some good old platforming, and of course, it's all spiced with some Mario 64 type of movement. This game is unbelievably charming and smooth for a Roblox game, and if you want a chill platformer to just hang around in and go at your own pace, this is perfect. A Block's Journey has only about 200 players right now, and the obvious reason why is that the game is new. It was released literally yesterday, as of February 15th, and it's insane how fast this game was made. In under a year, in fact. To make such an amazing game is a sign for you to play it, like right now. All of the games in this list are amazing and worth playing, but some struggle with being too slow, some are too fast, some are just way too complex, but that does not mean you should not try them out. So go ahead and help them with your support and kind words. If your words aren't kind, I will find you. Join my Discord server and subscribe.